thing is, if the live stream goes, if we continue without the live stream, I'll be like writing everything they say. So. All good.
Thank you, Chloe. Then we can proceed to the next agenda point, being the election of the Parliamentary Council. For this, the PC received 4 applications. So I will ask the candidates to come to the front. We'll do the opening speeches in the order of submission of the nomination forms. So please come forward. And we'll also have 1 candidate online. I'll just confirm that Tim online also hears us. So please let us know, Tim. Okay, we see you, Tim. Can you just test out the microphone if it works? Yeah, okay, we can hear you. Thank you so much. We'll start off with the opening speech from the first candidate, Vanya. Go ahead.
Well, Vanya, parliamentarian council member candidate. First of all, I'm Vanya Petric. I'm coming from Serbia, and from the very beginning of the studies, I didn't want just to spend my days looking at a book. I wanted to develop my knowledge and skills beside that. So I decided to doing organization and many different activities beside the primary curriculum. First, I applied for our local organization where I spent 3 years and changed 3 different positions from data analyst through TWINET coordinator. Then I finished my position on local organization as secretary general. My first contact with EPSA actually was on my TWINET exchange program with Belgium. After that, I expressed my desire to organize another TWINET by myself, and next year I applied for TWINET coordinator position where I spent 1 year. After that, I became more and more interested in EPSA and starting participated in many projects as I can, such as 2 mentoring projects, participating in writing the EPSA Science Monthly. I participated also in public health campaign and etc. After that, I wanted to show all our students in Serbia what EPSA can actually offer them. Then I applied for national organization as EPSA LS, and I spent there my whole 4th year. Then I wanted to be there for EPSA now, as EPSA being there for me from my first day actually, and I'm applying for the position of parliamentarian council member, which I find the most suitable to my skills and knowledge. Beside all of that and my organizations, at the same time I was working, and I gained a lot of skills. I'm also I have, let's say, good management skills. I'm really communicative. Also, I learned how to be unbiased. Also, I'm familiar to Torso too. And yes, this will be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. We proceed now to the proposal speech from NAFSA. Go ahead.
Can I give a bullshit? It's okay. I have to say that I met Anya 5 years ago, and we called him Webster Baby. And 2 days ago, right, it was his birthday, and now I'm standing here looking at him, and I'm admiring him, and I mean, in my head, it's like they grew up so fast, so I feel like old and okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Theodora Napster, Serbia. Dear General Assembly, I'm standing here in front of all of you, strongly supporting Vanya candidacy on behalf of Napster, Serbia. I have watched Vanya grow from the first moment he reached to our local association. He was a freshman without any experience nor knowledge, just pure joy and courage to step out of his comfort zone and discover something new to enrich his life. For 4 years now, he has been maturing, developing, and polishing hard and soft skills with an enormous big smile and positive energy. Within organization, every person has his or her specialty, like education or mobility. And I may say that within After Serbia, Vanya Petric's specialty is EPSA. For pre-nets, webinars, mentoring projects, and many other EPSA activities, as well as being LS, he is more than ready to bring pharmacy knowledge and students together. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. We proceed to the second speech by Feb Spain.
Corina from Spain. Dear GA, we did our research on him so we could prove that he was an adequate candidate for the position, and we found such an active student and reliable peer. He has been involved in student affairs since he started his pharmacy career in 2018, either by publishing research articles or by holding positions in his association. Since that moment, he has been engaged in European affairs as mobility coordinator for Serbia and representative as LS for Napster. It seems important for us to point out that he has also taken part in several events, such as Croatian and Serbian national congresses. All of these positions and projects were handled smoothly along his pharmacy studies and physical activity, but as part of the volleyball team. What we found really impressive. It shows his organization and management and flexibility skills, which are deeply valuable for this position.
Thank you. We'll proceed to the next candidate, Hannah Ban. Go ahead with your opening speech. Thank you.
Hannah, PCM candidate. Dear General Assembly, I'm Hannah Ban, and I'm a fourth-year pharmacy student in Zagreb, or as many of you may already know me from sitting all the way over here as the current parliamentary council member too. I want to show you and talk to you why I think you should give me another opportunity to sit at this very table and be the next parliamentary council member. So I began my journey in EPSA 3 years ago when I was elected as LS in CPSA. And after 2 years, I was so invested in EPSA that I wanted to run for the team, and I ran for PC. And by being PC, I managed to learn everything about EPSA, everything in depth, from all of the opportunities it has, all of the projects, and all of the friendships that it offers to all of the students. Now, I want to be PC again, because from the last time I presented my speech, my love for regulations honestly grew, as funny as they can sound to some of you, because I'm very passionate about rules. If they are followed, it just means that everything, all of the projects that are regulated are very inclusive and also, importantly, very legal. I believe that with my passion for rules and abiding by them, I can guide others, so the EPSA team and all of you official delegates and LSs, in going through them and just interpreting them in a proper way. I will also remain neutral because, well, being neutral is something that is very religious to PC, and we really wouldn't want to break that. Also, there are some things I would like to work on. I would like to work on the party system that you may have seen in the last 2 team meetings. I would like to improve on that. I would also like to work towards helping the ODs and the team understand regulations, and especially the GA workings, which we can see that can get a little bit glitchy at points. And last but not least, I would love to work towards a positive and friendly environment within the PC, within the neutral bodies, and within the team, because other than all of the opportunities that EPSA offers through the project, it in the end is all about the friendships and the connections we make through the whole thing. So I hope that I have managed to convince you to put your faith in me once again and let me be your parliamentary council member. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. We proceed to the proposal speech from KPSV. Go ahead.
KPG, the Netherlands. So we're really excited to once again propose Hannah for the position of parliamentary council member. For those who don't know, we also proposed her last year, and we're really proud of the work she has done. So happy to stand here again. Her structure and strictness are essential for the role of PC. And moreover, we really think that her experience from this year will be super beneficial. As you can see, not everything went smooth, and we hope that she knows it down and can take it to the next GA again. Also, her motivation and love for EPSA has only grown, which is very evident, and therefore we really believe that she will shine another year. So we hope you also support her in her journey to strengthen the PC trio once again.
Thank you, Kim PSV. We now have Bev.
Victor, FEF Spain. Dear GA, Hannah's qualification for the position speaks for itself, as she is currently holding a position in the department. We believe that she is disciplined and she has the resilience skills needed for this position. She's such an organizer as we've all seen during the Pharma Cafe or CPSA Virtual Congress. We think it is really remarkable as EPSA work needs a lot of preparation. It is a pleasure for us to second her application for this position as we think she'll do a fantastic job. Her knowledge as well as her motivation are the ingredients any candidate would need to feel calm and ready for the elections.
Thank you. We'll proceed to the next candidate that joined us online. Timothy, go ahead with your opening speech. Technical from Apple. Is there any way you can like higher the volume of your microphone? Maybe you can check in the Zoom options. I think it should be available. Is this better now? Okay, we'll try this out. Just try to speak loud, and you can go ahead with the candidate. The 3 minute timeline. So, thank you for your speech, and we'll proceed to the proposal speech. Go ahead.
Me again. Anyhow, Ken Beasley, the Netherlands. So we're also really proud to be proposing Tim as parliamentary council member. He has, like you mentioned, great experience in his local association, not only in the committees where he properly followed all the rules and guidelines, but also as a part of the five-headed executive that leads an entire local association full time. And like he said, he came to EPSA looking to broaden his horizon and has done great investigation work to find out the position that would match him the best. And the structure, advisory, and all overlooking qualities of this position are skills Tim possesses greatly. Even though he sadly cannot be here now, he's really excited to dedicate this year to the rest of EPSA. So we hope you support us with that case.
Thank you, Ken Beasley. Now, second the speech. Annette, go ahead.
As you have shown, sorry, Maria in France. As you have seen, Timothy has shown strong motivation during our meetings. We do believe he has all the experience required and is the right skills for this position since he was very active in his local association and all the committees that he has been part of. He's also very active on the international level, allowing him to be very fluent in English, and we did trust him to run our future GAs. He has the knowledge needed for EPSA, so we are super glad to support him with. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll proceed to the last candidate we've received. Ayub, go ahead. Your candidate speech for
DHA. I am Ayub Vishkan, a fourth-year pharmacy student at Marmara University Faculty of Pharmacy. I would like to tell about my experiences, what I'm occupied with, and also my motivations, because I see the PC as a board of trust. So the positions that I've held are LS of MUPSA Turkey for the mandate of 2020, 2021, and 2021, 2022. Other than that, faculty representative of Marmara University Faculty of Pharmacy for the Istanbul Pharmacists Chamber Youth Parliament. I also have the responsibilities of President of MUPSA Turkey for the mandate of 2022-2023. Leo of Marmara University Faculty of Pharmacy on behalf of TPYC for IPSA, which are going to both end in July the 1st. I am also a part-time intern as commercial quality intern. We check the no for the question. Are you familiar with the terms, duties, and rights related to the position you're applying for as mandated by the personnel and handbooks? I explored EPSA in my first year with great motivation. For the second year, my experience just got better. Getting more and more involved in the EPSA helped me understand being organized, professional, and focused on efficiency can get you and your organization to move forward, which are within the reach of regulations. So from my second year until now, I concentrated on strengthening the parliamentary structure of our association, prepared documents for the orientation camp, wrote new articles for our statute, facilitated the meetings to improve our work and, facilitated the meetings for the new regulation proposals of my team members, trying to improve our work and our organization's work by being neutral and stick with the statute of the association was not the easiest thing. On one hand, you have to be decisive on the matters because you're the leader of your teammates, but on the other hand, you're trying to protect the parliamentary structure by referring to this statute. Being a good listener has always been the key for me. The reason I'm running for the PCM is that I want to achieve my dream, my goal by completing the hard work that I put in EPSA, which is the place that inspired me to achieve all the things that I've done until now. You could question if the regulations and structure of EPSA is enough to encourage a member to effect the association of this. I can tell you that it is. And
Thank
also,
you. We've reached the 3-minute time slot. I'm sorry, we're very tight on the schedule. We'll proceed to the proposal speech from Mopsa. Go ahead.
İlk Faruz'dan Mumsa Türkiye. Dear General Assembly, I'm honored to present EPSA candidate for the EPSA team. On behalf of Mumsa, Eyüp has always excelled in his academic and personal life, which makes him a perfect candidate for this position. As a former realist, Eyüp had the chance to closely observe EPSA's parliamentary system and adapt it to Mumsa, which led to significant growth and development within our association. He went on to become the president of Mumsa in his third year, where he personally implemented his ideas to enhance our association's growth and success. Eyüp is an excellent candidate for EPSA team because of his commitment to teamwork, compatibility, and tireless work ethic. He is always willing to lend a helping hand to his fellow students and has earned the respect and admiration of our faculty members. With Eyüp on the EPSA team, we believe that he will bring a fresh perspective and harmony that will integrate the organization. We are confident that he will continue to work hard and carry EPSA into a bright future. I apologize for my misattention.
Thank you. Just in time, we'll proceed to the second speech from EPSA Poland. Go ahead.
Adam EPSA Poland, dear General Assembly. EPSA Poland is honored to show their support to the second EU ISKN application for parliamentary council member. As we all know, this position plays a vital role in ensuring that the EPSA team is working in compliance with the terms of and plenty of other documents. Eyüp, during his 2 mandates as EPSA LS for Mumsa Turkey, has worked closely with them, explaining his knowledge about the way that EPSA works with every meeting, even if it was online because of the coronavirus pandemic. Despite of the representing Mumsa to EPSA, Eyüp showed his engagement in the position he had during the triad project between Mumsa and PPSA Warsaw. Even though he wasn't a part of Mumsa reception committee, he helped a lot her triad coordinator and other people involved in the project, just because he believed that the whole organization should work together. It proved that Eyüp knows the importance of teamwork. This year, Eyüp is holding the position of Mumsa president, which means that besides managing the whole association, he has to do his every duty according to specific regulations to ensure that Mumsa meets all requirements and operates in accordance with the rules.
Thank you, Adam. We've reached the 1 minute. We'll proceed now to the questions and answers round. But for this, I'll just explain you to the delegates. The questions need to be worded in a way that all the candidates can answer. We'll take the answers one by one, first in the order that the applications were provided. Then we'll keep on switching so that everyone, the order will change every time. And so please do keep in mind to form them so that everyone will reply. There is also the 1 minute limit on the reply. So I will open now the floor for questions to the candidates. We'll first take Afet. Go ahead.
Bernardo Afet, Portugal. I wanted to ask, what are your plans for your relationship with the audit committee since you're the two initial bodies in EPSA?
Thank you, Afet. We'll start with Vanya.
Vanya, parliamentary council member candidate. Can you please again the question I didn't hear?
Could we please ask to repeat the question?
Bernardo Afet, Portugal. I wanted to ask, what are your plans for your relationship with the audit committee since you're both?
Thank you, Afet. Vanya.
My parliamentary council member candidate. Well, my plans for audit this year is maybe to sit and have a meeting and go through the previous year and see what we can change there also and what we can improve. And in spite of that, we will go with that and implement some improvements in the lobby.
Thank you. We now will take Hannah.
Hannah, PCM candidate. First of all, thank you for your question. I think we would have to have at least monthly or bi-monthly meetings with the audit committee. I would also like to have 1 or 2 regulation meetings with them just to clarify all of the regulations that apply to them and see if everything from the regulations was clearly understood by audit, and then also provide them with any sort of support they would need in any type of way, be it through meetings, through the chat, because obviously we would have an ongoing chat for it.
Thank you. We'll proceed now to Tim. I hope you heard the question. Go ahead.
Yes, Tim candidate. Make sure that the regulations are being followed, that we know that what we're doing, and have a shorter, like an outsource, shorter, quicker communication format will have that.
Thank you. We now proceed to Ayub. Go ahead.
So to ensure the worker quality is going accordingly, EPSA has neutral bodies meeting. So to elaborate more on that matter, good communication skills are essential, I guess. That's what I will be concentrating on.
Thank you. We now proceed to the next question from EPHSA.
Hello, Annabelle, University of Bulgaria. I wanted to ask each of the candidates how they gonna, what are their strategic plans to integrate the regulations between ODs and LCs so the GA can be smoother and everyone can be better inspected to it.
Thank you. For that, we'll ask first Hannah. Clarification from Hannah.
Hannah, PCM candidate, can I just clarify? You're asking what we're going to do to improve the overall work of GA and the understanding of these regulations, right?
You're still taking answer. Go ahead, Hannah.
Hannah, PCM candidate. So thank you for your question. I would definitely work on having meetings before GAs. Maybe more extensive meetings, maybe a bit more cahoots, maybe a little bit more interactive to see if everybody actually understood everything that was going on. Also, I would very much like to focus on explaining everything to the GA as it is going on, because if we only have a meeting before the GA, it is natural that things might evaporate. So clearly stating all of the procedural motions, everything that is being voted on, and making sure that everything is understood. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take Tim. Go ahead.
Thank you, Tim candidate PCM. I think that we try to make sure that there are meetings before the General Assembly where everything is explained clearly and as little, as well as legally as possible to make sure that we have
Thank you. We now will take Ayub.
So the main problem with the GAs taking so much time is mainly coming from the cause because of the LSS change in every year or every 3 years. So basically having a simulation for GA as for the LSS or the ODs in advance could ease the problem, because on the team side it's always really good, but as in terms of ODs we could collaborate and make some put out some really good work.
Thank you, Ayub. We now have Vanya.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, I will agree with the previous candidate about the communication is the good base for everything. And I will for sure initiate more meetings where we can discuss about everything, and also maybe about voting and at the General Assembly. we can go over or use, I was searching something, use AI some for following the votes, but like Nemo votes, but we can change the completely different way and just voting by the computer, by the PC. And yes, that will be much easier. And it's a short, we will need a shorter time than count again.
Thank you. We conclude the answers. We'll now proceed to the questions. For your information, we have AFUP, APEP, and APEP. So we'll take AFUP first. Go ahead.
Elena, AFIP Austria. How will you ensure that you're supervising your allocated departments equally and effectively when you will form personal relationships during the year and it will become harder to stay objective the longer the mandate goes on? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start off with Tim. Go ahead.
Team candidate, ECM, if I can ask for a quick clarification. The main point of the question is, as I understand it, how I would ensure that I stay objective throughout the year, correct?
There is agreement, yes.
Okay. So I personally think this will be a very big issue for me. I've done had positions as well, my full-time 4 years, in which I have had to be neutral in a lot of instances, as you other instances. So I have had experiences with the club. I think that at least at the start, I'll have an advantage with this regard because I have had a position or had such interaction with EPSA before. I can start fresh with the outside perspective, strengthening the neutrality of my staff.
Thank you. We'll now have Ayub.
EPSA candidate. So the thing is, when the EPSA is elected, we will just choose our parliamentarian. After that, parliamentarian and ECM1 and ECM2 will have their own departments. The key here is to comply with all the ECM members so we can resolve this issue faster and more efficient. Because if a ECM member wants some specific department, I will comply with them and you can have my word on that. So that's my solution.
Thank you. We'll now have Vanya.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, about the sharing information equally, I will for sure initiate maybe, if it's not a lot, about the meetings at weekly level, when where we can go to the previous week and just discuss about what we done. And about staying and being neutral, I've been through many positions and by organization and work now, where I had to be completely neutral. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Vanya. Anna, go ahead.
Anna, PCM candidate, thank you for your question. So first of all, as for the equal supervising, I think it will be beneficial to have like a document and fill it in and also to jump in for each other when one of us is working, and that way we can ensure that all of us have equal amounts of work. Also, as for staying neutral and forming relationships with the department, I think forming friendships is one thing, so the private part is one thing, but the job is another thing, which can be separated in my opinion. So
Thank you, Hannah. We proceed to the next question. For information, we have APEP, APEP, and EPSA on the list. We'll start off with the question of APEP. Go ahead.
Beatriz APEP Portugal. We are assuming that you were preparing for this application, you were at Torso. Is there any mistake that you have found that you will plan on changing for your next mandate? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start off with Ayub. Thank you. Vanya.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, I also read the torso and the checkpoints and everything. I couldn't find what I personally can change there.
Hannah?
PCM candidate, thank you for your question. I think it is a bit of a trick question because PC can always change grammatical errors. And I am sure there are a few because we always come across them when we read through everything. As for mistakes and regulation changes, it has to be read thoroughly and with time, but we cannot change that. We can just let the executive know that there is something that is not working, and I would definitely point it out to the executive and basically tell them to propose to change it because we cannot change it ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, Tim.
Tim, candidate. So I have read the proposal. I have not necessarily found a mistake through that I did actually I did notice that, for instance, in the handbook section, there is no CO audit handbook. I'm not quite sure if that's correct or that there is none. But that is definitely a thing I noticed that I can.
Thank you. We have a new question now from Afef.
Bernard, so I wanted to ask, how are you going to explain the regulations to the EPSA teams so and the different departments so that to make sure that all the regulations are followed?
Thank you. Vanya goes first.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, how I'm going to explain all regulations. First, they will get the all regulations in the, I don't know, some folder, or I will initiate meeting where I can go to them everything they need to know. And after that, I will be sure if they understood or not those regulations. And if they want to change something, they can say to us, and we can considering that if they didn't like something.
Thank you. Then we proceed to Hannah.
Hannah, PCM candidate, thank you for your question. Well, first of all, we definitely have a sort of presentation, obviously online, to show them the overview of all of the regulations that are relevant to each of the portfolios of each of the departments. Obviously, there will be time for questions, but I was also thinking that it would be good to like quiz the team members on some not specific things like, oh, which page can I find point 2.3 or something, but maybe something that is that can generally be associated with that position to make sure they understand it and they know where to find it.
Thank you. Tim, go ahead.
Yes, Tim, candidate PCM. I agree that I would also make sure that there's a meeting where on a good entry level we go through the regulations so that we generally take you what is there, what does it say, and make sure that everybody knows which specific articles are relevant to them. And the idea of having some kind of quiz type thing to reinforce the learning and active participation of the rules is something I would look very much for.
Thank you. We now have Ayub.
So I have some other perspective about that matter because for the departments that are facilitating, observing, or helping, I will read my department's segments on the personal like 3 or 4 times, so I can acknowledge that really well. So this is why we are here as PCM to help the team about regulation. So the key here is to facilitate, observe, and help them. So this is how I'm going to do it with knowledge.
Thank you. Just to let you know, we have theoretically 8 minutes left for this deadline. We'll proceed with the next question from PPSA.
Adam, Mr. Point, have you ever met a situation in your personal, professional association or personal experience when you have to stay neutral in some matter besides your like emotion connected with these things. And how did you outcome this situation?
Thank you, PPSA. We'll have Hannah first.
Hannah, PCM candidate, thank you for that question. There have definitely been times I've had to stay neutral, and I've had my own opinions. So excluding EPSA and my previous mandate, I've also worked in my local association, CPSA, mostly when I was LS, when I was representing our association, I couldn't state my own opinion, but I was voting on behalf of CPSA. And I just overcame that because it was the decision of the bigger number of people in board. In my personal life, it happens all the time, and I just overcome it by, I don't know, shouting in my head, thinking, okay, maybe that shouldn't have been like that, but if it is the decision of everybody, that is how it's supposed to be, and I am supposed to be neutral, and honestly, sometimes that is for the best. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have Tim now.
Tim, candidate at PCM. During my time at the local association with full-time board here, there's been many situations, some higher, some lower, some less difficult, where we have needed to be neutral. For instance, when the DA, for instance, decided something that we agree with, but the DA has decided it's the highest authority, so you just suck up your own opinion and do the thing that you're told to do in that way. Yeah, just stay neutral and
Thank you. Ayub?
Candidate. So, like 4 months ago, we had a seminar which like 1,000 people attended, and in that organization, I was responsible for the field section. So we had a friend who didn't fulfill her responsibilities, and her work was, related to our team, our field team. So at the end of the event, all of the board of the organization gathered around, and we had to make a judgment about what happened. So I was the one who should have been the most emotional and judgy, but I just said that we should just first talk to her about motivations on that matter, because she should have been through a lot. We would have known it. And other than that, they just stated that we should disband her from our secretary and our parliamentary of.
Thank you, Ayub. 1 minute.
I wasn't thinking about that.
1 minute is up. We'll proceed to Vanya.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, through 3 years in the local organization, 1 year in the national organization, from Secretary General to LS, I've been through many situations where I needed to stay completely natural and voting on the behalf of my organization. And yes, that will be it.
Thank you. There are no more points on the speaking list. Are we okay with proceeding to the agenda discussion? There is general agreement. You don't need an appropriate to close it, but we'll consider it. It's proposed by PPSA. Unless you drop it. Any second there? I don't see any. Andrei? Thank you, Andrei. Then we will ask the secretariat to lead the there's going to be the closing. The speech will proceed in the order that the application was submitted. So we'll start with Vanya. You have 1 minute.
Vanya, PCM candidate. Well, thank you all for considering my application and for your own questions. Well, I was really nervous, maybe, you know, but I only can say that I will give all of myself to this mandate if I'm elected. And yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. We now have Hannah.
Hannah, PCM candidate, I'll keep it brief. Thank you so much for your questions. I can only say that I hope my actions speak for themselves, and I hope I earned your trust throughout this year and with my speech and the answering of my questions for you to vote for me. And thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. We'll take Ayub now. Sorry, Tim. go ahead.
No worries. First of all, thanks very much to the GA for your insightful questions. I hope that our reply has some of your questions as well. I think we all said more than enough, so on this, so I will keep it short as well. I thank you for your attention. I hope that I was able to convince you that I am more independent for parliamentary council member. In any case, I trust that the GA will make the sharing reports and I wish you best of luck.
Thank you. And now we'll have you.
To the EPSA candidates. So thanks all for your questions. I hope my motivations and my actions were solid for you to choose me as the EPSA. Thanks all for your effort.
Thank you. We conclude the speeches then. We'll ask now the candidates out. We'll also put this on hold.